Hello everyone, it's me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show here on YouTube and the proud contributor of the African Diaspora News channel. If you could do me a favor and please subscribe to all channels and like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So today I am coming before you. I know it's been a couple of days since you've seen me, but unfortunately, Texas is going through some things. That's where I'm at. I'm actually in Houston, Texas, where if you guys have been following the news, you see that there was a rare storm, a snowstorm that hit Texas on early Monday morning. And since then, millions of people have had their electricity cut off. And now we are dealing with no water due to it being no water pressure. And then it's also said that they need the electricity to come on in order to have the water to flow. So it's just a nightmare for a lot of people. On Monday, was it Monday? Tuesday it was. It's like 19 degrees where I'm at. And at night it was 9-10 degrees. And obviously in some parts of Texas it was below zero. Okay. So ordinarily that wouldn't be a bad thing if the electricity was working. So in some people's homes, it feels a lot colder. I know it felt that way for my house. I could actually see my breath as I, spoke and all of that. Now, right now, I have some electricity. It's been going in and out. I don't have any water, and I'm going to show you, as I'm speaking, a video of what I've actually had to do to collect water. It's raining, and so the only good thing about it raining is that I'm able to collect some sort of water in order to flush the toilets, because let's keep it real 100, right? When there's no water, you can't flush your toilets or, even run your water at all. And so the mayor has asked, the mayor of Houston, has asked everybody to not run their water, not try to, because there is no pressure and it's not allowing any water to flow at all. Of course, there's a lot of people who have been dealing with their pipes freezing, and I'm one of them, pipes freezing. And some people have been dealing with their pipes completely bursting, right? And so once it unthaws or if it freezes to a certain degree, it bursts. And then when it thaws, guess what? People now have water running throughout their houses. I've seen where people set their sprinklers, for whatever reason, they have sprinklers inside the house. The sprinklers come on and, destroy everything. Pipes burst and it floods. And so it's just a nightmare for a lot of people. Unfortunately, too, there's been several people that have died. The other day was discovered that a lady, a lot of people are just trying to stay warm in their cars. And so she and her family, I guess, were taking turns going in and out of the car for whatever reason. They had the car in the garage. And so she actually was on the phone with somebody in Denver, Colorado. And the person she was on the phone with noticed that she was kind of incoherent and she wasn't able to, get her attention. So she figured something was going on with her. And she called the police, the Houston PD, and they went out to do a wellness check. And unfortunately, they found the lady deceased in her car. And then when they went inside the home, they found her 8-year-old daughter also deceased. And her husband and her son were unconscious. And so we've been hearing a lot of stories like that. Also been hearing stories of people bringing in barbecue grills or, pits in order to keep the house warm, and, just a whole host of things to try to keep warm. And for people who have generators, now there's no gas. You need, for a lot of generators, you need gas in order to power the generators. And so I just got back from trying to do what I'm calling a scavenger hunt at this point. My daughter and I went out to see if we can secure some gas, but unfortunately there was no gas. They had just shut off the pumps. The gas, I don't know if they're out or just not serving gas anymore, but there was people there with, a bunch of gas containers, trying to fill them up for their generators. And as I was in the store, my daughter said she saw people getting into some sort of a fight over a pump that they thought was working. Like they thought it was the golden pump or something, the only pump with gas. And so she said a guy pulled up with a plethora of gas containers. I guess he was going to try to, get gas to go fill up his generators. But it's like, you know what, guy? It's not just you. Everyone wants some gas, and you're going to pull up, with a bunch of containers so you and your family, could, and I get it. I get it, we're in like a dog eat dog type of, survival of the fittest, Hunger Games type of thing right now. But it's like we're partially in this problem because we don't have compassion for the fellow man. It's like it's all for myself, And what people don't realize is if you are one of those people that are hoarding everything, what do you think the people who don't have anything are going to do eventually? They're going to come knock on your door. In fact, they're not going to knock on your door. They're going to kick it down. So, and I know you guys aren't doing that, but if you're in Texas and you see people doing that, it's just, it's awful. All right, so let me get back to it. So there's no gas. There's no water now. Thank God I have some, electricity and lights and internet because I didn't have that yesterday either. And so I thought I'd come on here and just kind of show you guys what's going on. And for those of us who live in Houston, why you haven't been seeing us around a lot, because we are dealing with this Texas nonsense. Now, Sylvester Turner, who is the mayor of Houston, he's basically tweeted. He's been tweeting a lot. And so this is one of the tweets that he made. He says, the city does not control the Texas power grid. We do not oversee ERCOT, and that's the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, okay? ERCOT, that's what I call it, which manages and serves the traffic cop for the electric grid. That is the governor and the state of Texas. I know people are angry and frustrated. So am I. All right? But what he forgot to say during that time, and he actually did tweet about it much later on. Now, a lot of people were mad because they noticed that downtown Houston was lit up like a Christmas tree. It was, it looked like some festivities were going on down there. And as if you also notice, around downtown, it was completely pitch black, right? And covered in snow, which means all of those people that were surrounding downtown were without electricity in the freezing cold, all right? And so then Mr. Turner decided to say, I have asked at downtown Houston management district buildings that are not being occupied to please cut off their lights and conserve energy. We cannot cut all power off as individuals are staying in hotels and about 800 people are staying at GRBCC. Our goal is to restore power. But my thing is this. That is just really tone deaf for whoever's making the decisions downtown. Okay, we ain't talking about the hotels, which are now completely sold out. I've even heard of price gouging in places like Dallas where they're saying, and I don't know how true it is, I just heard that they're charging upwards of $1,500 for a hotel room. Now, I don't know, if it's the Taj Mahal, if, Jesus himself is staying there, but the $1,500 is a bit much. And I think about it too, before I get back to them being tone deaf. There's people who are already struggling because we are in the middle of a pandemic still. Like, we still have a pandemic that if you're in Texas, you kind of forget, like, oh gosh, yeah, there is this thing called the pandemic that's going on. So people they're strapped for cash. They don't have the money to go stay in a hotel, but what are you going to do? You're going to stay in your freezing cold house and watch your breath form. And you're just going to, especially if you have babies. On another show that I do, a lady was saying that her friend, daughter or somebody, their baby died due to it being cold. The newborn baby died. And so, if you could go to a hotel, I guess you should, but there's a lot of people who just can't afford to do that. But back to tone deaf Houston. It's very tone deaf for you to have the whole downtown lit up. Just like I said, it looked like it was a Christmas festival or something, while everybody else is struggling to survive and hoping and praying for their lights to come on. Now it is said that ERCOT and, Centerpoint, I think is the name of it, and all these other electric companies were trying to do rolling blackouts. They were trying to conserve energy by having some blackouts, and then unfortunately they weren't able to get the circuits back up in order to supply power to people. And so that's why a lot of people have been without power. Some people never regain power. Some people get about 5 minutes here, an hour here or there. I'm fortunate enough to have some an hours at a time. But they're saying they really don't know when this is going to be resolved. Now, the other thing should be said, Texas, for some reason, they succeeded from the rest of the nation in being on the national power grid. And so they have their own power grid. And from what I understand, they didn't want to pay some sort of federal fees and taxes to be joined with everybody else. And so Texas is always on some mess. They were one of the states back in the day that wanted to succeed, get away from everybody. Texas is a red state. And if you guys have been following the news, you've also seen how they've handled or not handled the pandemic. They've just basically said, let everything stay open, and so they just have poor leadership here. And I could go on and on, but I won't. But I will just say this, wherever you are, if your leadership is not doing a good job, if they're failing you in any way, shape, or form, stop putting them back in office. They do not have what it takes to care about people. They only care about themselves, okay? And so think about that before you go to the polls, you stroll to the polls and your chucks and your pearls, and your pastor tells you to get the souls to the polls and all of that other stuff. Think about who you're voting for, because this is an everybody problem. It's the federal government, it's the local government, and it's our fault because we continue to vote for people who mean us no earthly good. All right, and so if I can get back on here and give you guys some more updates of things that are going on, I will. But I just wanted to come before you and just give you a little sample of what us in Texas, and I'm in Houston, are going through. Hopefully the next time you see me, I have my hair done and some other things will be up and running, like water and good working electricity. And, just to leave out of here, I'm one of those people who feel like there's never any excuse not to take a bath. And so I've created what I'll call a cat bath. I've been calling it something else, but it's not appropriate for here. Where you heat up some water and you put some baby wipes in there, and you take care of yourself, right? And so, and I'm a Muslim's daughter, and I say that proudly because I've always been told to save my water. Store your food and your water. So, we're good on those type of things. As I said, I've been collecting rainwater, and I have a plethora of drinking water. I have a filtered water container and all of that. And so we're making do here. And I hope that if you're in Texas and you're enduring this, you're making do. And as the old people say, this too shall pass. Hopefully it passes soon, right? Because I'm a Southern California girl too, and I ain't with this nonsense. So anyway, for more insightful videos, please subscribe to my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, and these channels, the African Diaspora News Insider and African Diaspora News channel. Peace.